Now, I don't know if you guys ever get this way, but sometimes I feel empty inside, like in here. And then I start getting irritable. I maybe get like a little bit of a headache and I'm like, oh, what's the matter with me? And I don't understand my body yet because it's still pretty new. I'm very young.
Yes.
And I'm like, you know what? Food sounds good. I want to do my part to end world hunger and feed my own self. I'm actually going to feed me and my crew because, I'm not a monster. But yeah, I'm going to do that. And I think that you guys should take this opportunity to feed yourself and do your part to end world hunger as well. So we're going to go. Literally 7 minutes later. Okay, so we got the siding up all the way around. Really hard. We also got this door in, and then we hooked the power back up. I had my electrician come out and do that. So anyway, I was thinking about having like a sub-series to John Works Too Much that's called, Did You Realize That You're Not the Only Person in the World? Okay, now let me tell you who I'm talking to today. I mean, it's going to be like literally everybody by the time I'm done with this, but let's just say that you're driving on the highway or anywhere and you're in the left lane. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you shouldn't be there. It's a passing lane. That's all it should be. It should be like your car has a magnet that pulls you to the right. If you can be on the right lane, be in the right lane. Even if you're doing 150 miles an hour, get over to the right as quickly as possible, unless you have to pass somebody, and then you pass them and get back over to the right. I do it and I drive really fast. Here's what I found out. There's some psychology to this, right? With people like, how do you not get tickets? Well, first of all, I've gotten a ton of tickets, probably $30,000 or something. It's a lot, whatever it is. Anyway, the moral of the story is, there's a psychology to driving. Everybody has been conditioned to feel like they're breaking the law all the time and that they're criminals. The justice system makes us feel like we're all doing something wrong at any given time. Like we might have a taillight out and not know about it, and so we should be in prison for the rest of our life or some stupid thing. So anytime somebody sees a cop, brake lights everywhere. People are going 15 miles under the speed limit, 30 miles under the speed limit. They hit their brake lights like, oh no, there's a cop. What am I going to do? You're like, well, hopefully you're going to speed up because you've been going 30 miles under the speed limit. You're driving me nuts, right? So if I'm just driving along and I wait to see a bunch of brake lights, especially near a bridge, there's probably a cop there. If everybody's just cruising along and I can see cars and nobody's hitting their brakes, probably not a cop there. Anyway, the moral of the story is everybody thinks they go fast. They don't. You know who goes fast? Me.
John goes fast.
You know who doesn't go fast? I'm going to say it. Taxi cab drivers, 18-wheelers, any government employee. All right? Anybody who's basically making hourly wage to drive around, probably not going to drive fast. They're like, what's the rush, man? I'll get paid the same either way. I got stuff to do, okay? So please, there's about 7 of us that have other things to do because we've completely ignored COVID and the whole pandemic. It's probably our fault that you're all dead now. And I don't even care because I hate old people. That's why I'm not wearing a mask during this video. Anyway, we want to get somewhere. And when you lock it up and then somebody else comes and locks it up, I'm like, oh. And here comes the title of the thing. Do you realize that you're not the only person in the world? Get out of the way. This is why I should not be a weatherman. I predicted rain this morning, but missed. That's what I got. All right, so we're here at Home Depot. Let's just take a look. I love Home Depot, okay? I just want to say this. I love Home Depot. I spend so much money here, and they make me so much money. I'm filthy rich because of them. I've got a couple gripes. Number A, there's a holiday about every 3 weeks in America. Maybe less, I don't know. And they are like, you know what we should do? Stock our aisles. And I'm like, no, did you say stock your shelves? They're like, no, our shelves are empty. You can't find anything you need in there. I've been trying to get a meter base for 2 weeks now. I've been trying to buy caulk for 6 months and they don't have it, right? But they got 58 barbecue grills right in the aisle, so I can't move my cart down the aisle. Ugh. Stock your shelves, don't stock your aisles. I know impulse buys or whatever, but look, hon, we're not here to sell gardenias to old Mrs. Thompson or something like that. We're here to sell a bunch of lumber to me so I can build a house, right? Word. Oh, hey there. So, a lot of people ask me, how can we cut lines so straight? I'm like, I don't know. You just follow the line. It's not that hard. So a lot of people are like, John, your head's in the clouds. I'm like, well, if we're being accurate, my head's in a cloud. And it's this fog that's all around us this morning. I don't know if you guys had to drive through this. We had to use instruments to get here. I was like, I can't see nothing. I'm driving by faith, not by sight. I mean, most of the time I'm looking at my phone anyway when I'm driving, like, not like this, but just like this. In fact, look, I work a lot. I work too much, obviously. But I feel like I'm kind of over it. Jimmy, how do you feel?
I'm completely over it.
Yeah, you know what?
Over the first floor, anyway.
This will be the last day I work the rest of this year. I'm done with it. So there. Now you guys know. I quit after today working for the rest of 2021. That's it. This is the last time working. I'm getting back to work. Hey there. So this will more than likely be the last video I make this year for John Works Too Much. I'll probably make some videos tonight because I'm going to see my friends play at Ridgely Metal Fest because I'm friends with Lockjaw and Element 80. So I'm going to go hang out with them. And I might make videos because, you know, I do that. But this is the last one I'm going to make while I'm working construction this whole year. And that's because it's New Year's Eve. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I mean, next year. Today, we did quite a bit of caulking. We got all the way around here and all the way to the front of the house. So that's a big deal. I'll put some still pictures up. We also finished off the chimney, which is great. And then we put soffit up in this, on the covered porch and got trim around that. And I know that doesn't seem like it's much, but it felt like a lot. So I don't know if you guys noticed this, but a lot more solar energy spills happen during the daytime than they do at night, at least where I live. Now, I don't know if that's different in other parts of the world. Flat earthers, please feel free to chime in and tell me what you think about that. So, do you think that flat earthers get upset that we breathe air that's in the atmosphere instead of on the atmosphere flat? All right, so you're probably wondering what this is that I'm holding. And technically, yes, it is a piece of Hardie, but also on the back side of this Hardie, I've compiled a list of everybody in the world that has it together. And if you give me just a second. Yep. I'm not on the list. Nope, I'm not on the list. And neither is anybody else. So in case you're wondering, like, do I have to wait to have it all together to like live my life? No. Don't let your expiration date run out. Here's what I noticed. I see all these people and they act like, you know what, this is a trial run and then I'll get back and do life again right the next time. I'm like, this is it. Your time is now. Choose to do it now. If you don't, your life will pass you by and you'll be like, okay, I'm ready to do it. And they'll be like, bro, we hit record a long time ago. Your show is over. I'm sorry. You need to live your life now. Because later on, you'll be like, I wish I would have done that. But you know who doesn't do that? Me, because I just live my life. I'm like, you know what? I want to do it. Nah. And I messed up a lot. I'm not going to lie. I do a lot of dumb things. But I also do a lot of amazing things. So, with this coming new year, I make my resolution to, what am I going to do? Try to work more. Because right now I feel like I don't work enough. I'll try to work more. Also, to try to learn some jokes because I am not good with jokes or timing or any of that comedy kind of stuff. So I'm going to work on that. I'll try to do stuff that I can actually do throughout the rest of the year. What else am I going to do? I'm going to eat bad. Not sleep enough.
Get up early.
Yeah. Stay up late, get up early. Probably have another year of being single because look at me. I asked Siri, like...
You're single?
Yeah, first of all, I said, Siri, why am I single? And she's like, well, first off, this is Alexa. And then secondly, she turned on the front-facing camera, and I'm like, makes sense.
That's wrong, man.
If I ever do get a girlfriend, I'm telling you what, like, it's probably not going to happen. But if I ever do, I'm never going to get her eyes checked. I mean, I've never taken her to the eye doctor.
I don't like glasses.
Yeah, just don't wear any of that contacts, glasses, and LASIK, absolutely not.
You look better in sunglasses.
Because the moment that she gets it, she'll be like, ugh, you are ugly. Not just in your outside, but your inside and everything. You're just ugly. You got an ugly heart.
Too hard if she's seeing your insides, John.
You're ugly. Your heart is black like my soul. I don't like it. So I think I'm going to take this opportunity to tell you guys, when you're texting somebody and that person works a lot, and then you text me some nonsense, right? I don't know, what are you thinking about right now? And I'm like, is it an hour that I would be working? Which means anytime that the sun is up, or probably before and after that the sun is up and it's not a Sunday, I'm probably working. So if I give you a fast response, you're welcome that I gave you a response. You don't have to validate that by saying okay or a thumbs up or a smiley face or anything like that, because I'm up somewhere dangerous. And when I hear honky tonk, because that's what my text messages sound like. And I'm like, la-di-da, I'm just gonna get up here and honky tonk. I'm like, ugh. And then I respond, and then somebody's like, honky tonk. I'm like, please, just don't. It's not that I don't love you. I do love you. In the evening is fine. Not too early, not during the daylight hours, in the evening. I'll still respond, but you know, be respectful. Also, if you're a girl and you're like, I just think that John might like me, I probably don't even know who you are, first of all. And secondly, if you're like, I wonder if he's going to ask me out. No, you're going to have to, like, first of all, put down some kind of deposit or let me know you're serious, because I don't know. I mean, I am dumb. You would tell, the entire world would know and I wouldn't. I'd be like, well, nobody likes me. So if you're like, hey, I want to go out, John, say something.
Get up on him.
Yeah, see something, say something. Otherwise, I will not notice. And I'm a jerk. But I'm real nice. All you got to do is say, hey, you want to go out? I'm like, yeah.
He likes it when you lick his face.
That's weird. Look at the rest of your ear. Oh, that's embarrassing. Just sitting here spinning my hammer. Thinking about the new year, the old year, all that stuff. I took the rest of the year off, and a couple hours later, here I am. New year, same work. All right, I love it though. I wouldn't go a day without it. Sometimes a day. All right, so I want to show you guys something that, maybe will help you out. These nails we're trying to pull out are helix nails, and let me show you what that means. It's like your DNA strand, but a lot different. So what that means is they're twisty like this, see? So they're really difficult to get out, and they grab hard, okay? Now, let me demonstrate about leverage and what this means. This is a good hammer. It's a man's hammer. I've had this for a long time, and it loves me, and we cuddle at night and stuff. I've knocked these nails the other way. If I try to pull this out, I can eventually get there, but it's difficult. Now, what happens if I put some leverage there? Allow me to demonstrate. The exact same nail, right? Oh, dang it, came right out. Leverage is important. Now, sometimes I tell people that, like new helpers or whatever, and they look at me like, John, you don't know nothing. I'm gonna keep doing it the same dumb way because I don't know. I just won't listen because I'm a stubborn mule. I'm like, all right, that's fine. I tell these things to people about construction stuff and they don't listen, but I also tell people stuff about real life and spiritual stuff and they still don't listen. They're like, I'm gonna do it the same dumb way. I'm like, or hear me out on this, try it and see if it works. And sometimes a light shines down from heaven and I'm like, oh, a praise report, right? And somebody took good advice and then went with it and then got good results. And then I hear about it, I'm like, oh, this warms my heart. Now, I can't give you any details about who these people are, but I've known about this situation for quite some time. And some friends of mine have been good friends for decades, right? They grew up together. And one of them betrayed his friend's confidence and he lost his marriage over it. And it was devastating for the one that lost his marriage. And a lot of years passed where they weren't friends and they probably held some bitterness and probably said some mean things and probably hated each other. But another friend of mine came and helped to reconcile that relationship. He encouraged them to be friends again. And then they decided, you know what, I think we are going to be friends again. And one of them, the one that had been betrayed, called the other one. And he was thinking, I've been the one that's been hurt this whole time. And he called his friend, ex-friend, now friend again. And his friend was like, I've been waiting for this moment for years. Thank you so much. I want to talk about this. I want to apologize. I've been carrying this weight around for so long and it's just killing me. I want to be friends again. I'm so sorry. And then he forgave him for a very difficult thing. And now they're friends. And this warms my heart. This is the kind of thing that life is about. Making restitution, restoring friendships, being kind to one another and forgiving. Because it sounds real good, like, oh yeah, I forgive them, but I still hate their guts. But it's another thing to be like, I forgive them and I'm gonna be their friend again. Now this doesn't always work, okay? I understand there's people that on the other side, they don't want your forgiveness. Forgive them anyway, because you gotta relax that hatred muscle and then you realize when I forgive somebody else, that's a gift I give to myself.
That's right.
Right? Because when you hate somebody, you are punishing them for what they did, or you're punishing yourself for what they did.
Yeah.
And you're better than that. So, if you got something against somebody, I say take this time to forgive them. It's important that you lose weight and quit smoking and all the things that you are going to do for your New Year's resolutions. It's also really important that you restore relationships. Okay, far more important. In fact, the Bible says, and Jesus said this, that if you're going to the altar, if you're going to church, and on the way to church, you realize, I've got something between me and my brother, and that's a spiritual brother. That's anybody,
Anyone, yeah,
right?
sure.
Stop going to church and go make it right with that person, and then come to church with your offering. That's what he says. It's that important, because if you say, I love God who you have not seen, but you hate your brother who you have seen, you're only deceiving yourself, right?
True.
Make restitution. The thing is, you think this is going to be so difficult, and you're going to make such a sacrifice, and at the end of it, you're like, I am so grateful that I did this, because now I have a friendship. I'm not carrying that bitterness in my heart, and I'm whole again. And that's what life's about. All right, we're gonna get back to work, because that's what we do. Oh, it's so embarrassing. You guys sneak up on me, and then I'm just pondering like life and things. If you're anything like me, you love your work, right? Now, when I was younger, somebody said, do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life. And I realized that the reason why they said that is because that career is not hiring. But, but I love my laugh track over here. But you can love anything if you just make the choice to love it, right? And then to be good at it, because it matters that you're good at what you do, no matter what it is that you do. Allow me to elaborate. Let's say that you're a waitress and you're like, I'm just a waitress. First of all, you're not. You're made in the image of God, okay? So that's, first off, let's don't reduce ourselves to what our job is. But when you have a waitress that's like, ugh, or looking at her phone, or, you know, your drink's always empty and she waits 15 minutes to get your order, and you're just like, you make my life more difficult, right? I love you just the same, but I feel like you're not really putting in any effort. I'll still tip you, because I think it's the right thing to do. I think people making $2.13 an hour, for us to go, well, I'm not going to tip you, you're a douche. I'm sorry, you're a douche.
Agreed.
Yeah. If we didn't pay tips, our food would be so expensive you wouldn't be able to afford it. I went to Australia in 2009, and a burger at Burger King was $35. And you're like, well, you don't got a tip though, because they pay their people $20 an hour. So congratulations on that. Anyway, but then you go and you have the same waitress, right, who has a great attitude, remembers your name, gets your drink taken care of, is happy, is fun to be around, is a pleasure. And you're like, my day is better because of you. And it has nothing to do with what your job status or your money status is. It's how you are as a person. But I do think that how you do your business is very important. Now, here, a lot of people are like, John, why are you so successful? What's your secret? As if it's one secret. It's a lot of secrets that I openly tell, which doesn't make it a secret anymore. It's more like a common knowledge, which I like to call uncommon knowledge, because nobody seems to have it. Here's what I do. I do what I say I'm going to do for the price I say I'm going to do it for. I'm honest, I care, and I don't look at the work as I need this money, therefore give me more money, or I deserve whatever. I look at this like, how can I help you? How can my skill set help you in your predicament? How can we make this work together? Like, I'm not looking for a no. I'm not looking for like an excuse. I'm looking for, you have a problem. How can I make what I can do into your solution? And if it doesn't fit, have a wonderful day, and I'll see if I can point you in the right direction. But if I can help you, then let me. Yes, I have to make money, right? That's how I buy things, and that's how I have, I pay my bills, and that's how I have the tools to do the things and have the helpers and all that. It's important that you make money, but I don't have to gouge you, right? If I'm just honest and show up and do what I say I'm going to do, there's plenty of food at the table for everybody, right? And everybody thinks like, if I just, like, this person has a lot of money, I'm going to gouge them. I'm like, you're going to gouge them once, and then you're going to suffer for the rest of your life, and you're going to have a bad reputation that will not be easy to recover. It will probably take years and a whole lot of effort. Once you lose ground, it's really hard to get it back. Okay, but if you're just nice to people, if you're just kind and helpful to people, you don't have to go around advertising, because everybody goes, I want that guy. That guy does what he says he's going to do. He shows up when he says he's going to show up, and he cares about his work. Is he perfect? No. Is he an idiot? Let's be honest, yes. but he's nice. he's not a crook. He's not going to steal my stuff, and I trust him, and so that's good. And it has been very, very profitable for me through the years. And what I thought was just like, it's just the right thing to do, has really grown into my cup overflows constantly, and I'm so very grateful. And it's not hard to do, right? Like, it's easier to be nice to somebody. It's easier to be honest, right? So really, I'm lazy. you're like, life's gonna suck anyway, okay? It is. But be good at what you do. Whatever it is that you choose to do, be good at it. And if not, go do something else. You only get one life here. So use it wisely, enjoy it, and be a blessing to the people around you, because it matters, right? Like it definitely matters. And how you conduct your business, that's how you spend most of your time on earth. That and sleeping, right? Unless you're like a COVID government leech, whatever. Get out and work, right? It's not that hard. You get out and work and then you're like, man, I'm healthier, I'm happier. You're like, look at these muscles. Where's that come from? Look at that tan. Where'd that come from? For freaking working. And,
definition.
yeah, and having like camaraderie with your friends and just having something that you collectively did together and being proud of yourself. Like, get out there and do something with your life. Get out there and do something with yourself. And be honest, because look, you can shear a sheep a lot of times, but you can only skin him once. So if you think, I'm going to gouge that person, you will one time and they will never call you back. But if you're like, I just want to help that person, then they're like, I have more money and more money and more money, and my friends have money and their friends have money. And you're like, this has grown far bigger than I ever could have imagined. So I hope you're having a wonderful year so far. I wish blessings upon you. I pray that your cup overflows, that you're filled with forgiveness and happiness, that your life is just filled with people that love you and that you love, doing things that you love to do. And I pray that all of your life is a blessing. All right, see you guys later. Oh, it's so weird. Like every time I turn around, there you guys are. And I love it. If you're anything like me, you probably think a lot. And I remember, I think it was in the 90s, maybe the early 2000s, something like that. I heard some statistic that the average person gets filmed, and I forget what it was, 17 or 26 times a day, one of the two. And I remember it being offensive. Like, people are filming me 17 to 26 times a day? What in the world? And then I started thinking about it. I was like, well, security cameras, and you walk in a grocery store or restaurant or gas station or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, I suppose. But at the time, it just felt like, wow, I don't know if I want to be watched that much. I remember once everybody got phones on their cameras, then it would be like, you can't just get away with stuff because like everybody's watching and they're going to have like video evidence of you in HD and they're going to turn you in. And I remember being like, I don't know if I like this. Now, time has passed, and these days, I don't know. I mean, I film constantly. A lot of it I do on purpose. And I just realized that really my entire life is on display, and, I'm okay with it. Anyway, we were talking about, so I was reading in Psalms, I think day before yesterday while I was having breakfast, and it said, does the one who made the eye not see? Does the one who designed the ear not hear? Does the one who created the mind and the one who teaches, does he not have wisdom? Can he not see your every thought and your every move, everything that you see and everything that you hear? You think you're going to hide from him? Now that's just dumb. That's just dumb. And I remember being like, getting filmed a couple times a day, however, a couple dozen times a day, seems like a lot, but I could still feel like maybe I could get away with some stuff. But if you're like, man, everything I say and do and think and feel is being recorded, and I'm gonna have to give an account for that one day, kind of makes you think a little bit like, maybe I ought to start getting this right. Because either way, we're not our own. Either way, we will give an account for our life. And I don't know if you guys can hear that wind, but it's serious out there. Anyway, so there was a guy in the Bible, Jonah, and he thought, I'm going to run away from God because he had a calling from God on his life. And God said, I want you to go to Nineveh and I want you to preach to these people. Well, here's something they don't talk about a whole lot. The Jews did not like the people from Nineveh, not even a little bit. They were like, we don't like you. It would be like, I don't know, Jews being told, hey, go preach to the Nazis. And you're like, I don't know if I want to preach to the Nazis. I don't like those people.
They're not going to hear me real good.
Yeah, I don't want them to be saved. I don't like them. And so when God told him to go and do that, he's like, I've got a different plan. I'm going to run away from you. And so he got on a boat and was like, God won't catch me out here. I'm going to go to the far end of the world. And he thought that, right? And then a huge storm came, kind of like the one that's outside right now. Probably bigger.
Maybe a little less, but yeah.
Yeah, huge storm to the point where everybody on the boat who were not Jews and who were not obviously Christians, because that was before Jesus, were like, who did something wrong to anger the gods? This is not natural. We've never seen anything like this. There's a vengeance with this storm. Who did something wrong? And they're looking around, and Jonah's like, funny story, it was me. And they're like, what did you do? And he goes, well, God told me to go preach to the Ninevites, and I'm running away. And they're like, and you got on our boat? You jerk. Now we're going to die with you. And he's like, throw me over. I understand this is my fault. Throw me over. And they're like, you know what?
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to do that. So they pick him up and they throw him over. And God provides a way, even though we're dumb. And look, I'm dumb constantly. And then I'm like, thank you, God, for your mercy. And thank you for making a way for me. And for you guys too. And for Jonah. And so he's thrown in to the sea. And they're like, thank God. And immediately the storm is calmed. And a big fish, a whale, comes and like, oh, gobbles him up in one big bite. And then he lives inside the whale's stomach for 3 days, which is a foreshadowing of Jesus. And then the whale spits him up. He can spit him up anywhere. Where do you think he spits him up? You want to take a guess?
Nineveh?
A lot of people are going to say Nashville, but you're right. Nineveh is the answer.
I was thinking that.
Yeah, Nashville. It was that or Kansas City. But turns out right there at Nineveh, like, bleh, and there's the city. And like I said, how about go and do what I told you to? And so Jonah's like, I'm mad at you because when I preach to them, they're going to repent and you're not going to hurt them anyway. And God's like, I know.
Duh.
Because I love them too. And he says, there are 100,000 people in this city who I love. Let me have mercy on them. You are the instrument of my mercy. And Jonah's like,
Stupid mercy.
And he goes in and he preaches, and guess what happens? They're all like, so God that just made this huge storm and put you in a whale for 3 days, and you've got this amazing story, that God is going to destroy our city if we don't repent? And they're like, guys, we need to repent. And then they did, and God had mercy. And Jonah was mad. He was mad at God. He was mad at the people, and he was bitter. What'd you save the Nazis for? So, you know.
They're just going to kill me next year.
Yeah,
Stupid.
yeah, watch this. But God had mercy on them. And if you think that you're going to run away from God, and I know a lot of people, I've talked to several people recently that are like, I've been running from God for a long time. I had 2 people last night that said, I've been running from God for a long time. I'm like, stop. You think this is going to get better for you? You want to go get swallowed up by a whale? You want to be in a bad storm? Or you want to just like go, hey, God said to do this, and I'm going to go do it. I can't run away from him. I don't want to run away from him. He's taking care of me. I'm going to go do the right thing.
Gonna swallow it and go it and get and do it.
Stop
Just
fighting
do it.
God, because you know what happens when you stop fighting God? You realize he wasn't doing this to punish me. He was doing this to help me and to heal me and to get rid of the yuck in my life.
Yep. And he showed you what the yuck was real obvious.
Yeah, just made it rise to the top. He's like, let's skim that off and we're going to leave you with pure gold. It just takes a while to get there. All right, so we're going to go try to weather this storm, and we'll see you guys tonight at Jimmy's Show.